Guns are tools meant to address life or death situations, so a poorly designed or manufactured gun often earns particular scorn. The gun world has long memories of particularly black firearms, many of which sealed the fate of brave soldiers. The rapid pace of firearms development in the 19th and 20th centuries meant that few, if any, mistakes were repeated, but the memories of these weapons, some with lethal consequences for the owner, linger. Go on. Here are 5 of the worst guns ever made. Produced by the Gladiator Bicycle Company, the French Chauchat machine gun was one of the very first squad-level automatic weapons ever produced. Made for the French and later American armies during World War I, the Chauchat even looked like it was made from bicycle parts, using a great deal of metal tubing nearly identical to that found in bicycle frames. The weapon was capable of only firing 300 rounds between jams under the best of circumstances, and the trenches of the Great War were far from that, with mud and dirt liable to work its way into the Chauchat's innards through its many openings and foul the weapon. The gun was poorly designed and often punched the shooter in the eye or cheek if improperly held. Despite these shortcomings, the Chauchat soldiered on, mostly because there was nothing to replace it with. While the gun deserves credit as the first of its kind, the fact that all major armies removed it from service at the end of the war speaks for itself. The Chauchat was replaced in U.S. service with the much improved M1918 Browning automatic rifle. Nambu Imperial Japan, despite its technological prowess at sea and in the air, was a hopeless mess on the ground. One of the least ergonomical pistols ever built, the Nambu was privately purchased by thousands of Imperial Army and Navy officers and became the unofficial pistol of the Japanese military. The Nambu superficially resembled the famous German Luger P08, with the addition of the safety that could only be operated by the user's free hand. The double recoil springs, as well as magazine spring, made removing an empty magazine extremely difficult and nearly impossible when the firearm was wet or oily. A weak striker spring often lost power over time and resulted in light primer strikes, something that happened so often the holster had a pouch for a replacement spring. The 8mm cartridge had notoriously poor stopping power and was never Jura 41. Although Germany started the war with the bolt-action Karabiner 98 Quay, as the fighting dragged on, German engineers looked for ways to increase the individual soldier's rate of fire. One result was the Jura 41. The Jura 41 was adopted an early gas piston, rotating bolt rifle operating system that was featured in the M1 Garand. The Garand, however, did a much better job of implementing it. The G41 was expensive to manufacture and the machining involved was complicated. The weapon demanded constant and meticulous maintenance, and its muzzle often foul. At 11 pounds unloaded, hit more than 2 pounds heavier than the 98 Quay, and the weapon was poorly balanced. Although a semi-automatic weapon, the integral, non-detachable magazine was slow to load, limiting the rate of fire. Colt 1855 revolving rifle. 19th century American inventor Samuel Colt created the modern revolver, receiving a patent for an early design in 1836. The revolver system, which promised up to 6 fast-firing shots before reloading, was quickly adopted as the standard pattern on handguns. An attempt was made to bring revolver-level firepower to the world of rifles, the Colt 1855 revolving rifle. Unfortunately for Colt, the weapon was a failure. The open nature of the revolver cylinder system and the amount of noise it produced was acceptable in a weapon held at arm's length, but not in a weapon held close to the face. Having the action close to the face was also dangerous in case the weapon suffered a mechanical failure or explosion. Only 1,000 Colt 1855s were built and the entire concept was abandoned by the gun industry. The Colt 2000 was the legendary American company's response to the Austrian Glock pistol and the worst of the company's many recent misfires. Despite being developed by noted gun designers Reed Knight Jr. and Eugene Stoner, inventor of the original AR-15 rifle, the Colt 2000 was an embarrassing failure. The actual design of the gun was theoretically quite good, with a polymer frame coupled with metal slide to shed weight, a double-stacked magazine that held 15 rounds and a striker-fired design. Unfortunately, the gun had serious reliability problems, with many owners experiencing failure to extract jams, clear accuracy and a safety recoil. The Colt 2000 was billed as a gun that would dominate the world of 21st century handguns, but the gun lasted only 4 years on the US market, from 1991 to its cancellation in 1994.